The first thing I learned about alien queens was simple. When they warn you, you listen. Unfortunately, I've never been particularly good at following instructions. The transmission came in fragments, distorted signals bouncing through deep space, bleeding into one another like overlapping echoes. Most of the crew dismissed it as cosmic noise. Static. Nothing meaningful. But I heard the pattern. I always did. Run it again, I said, leaning over the console as the signal played for the fourth time. Commander Hale sighed behind me. We've got a schedule, Elias. We're not here to chase ghosts. It's not a ghost, I muttered. It's a language. That got his attention. The bridge quieted. Even the hum of the ship's engine seemed to recede, like it too was listening. Explain, Hale said. I pointed to the waveform. There's repetition. Structure. It's not random. Someone's trying to say something. Or something wants us to think that, Lieutenant Mora added. I didn't argue. She wasn't wrong. But I already knew. This wasn't a trap. It was a warning. 3 hours later, we changed course. Officially, we were investigating an anomalous signal of potential intelligent origin. Unofficially, we were stepping into something we didn't understand. The source of the transmission led us to a dead sector, uncharted, silent, unnervingly empty. No stars, no debris, no radiation signatures, just a void. And at its center, her world. At first, it didn't look like a planet at all. It shimmered, its surface shifting like liquid glass, reflecting the darkness around it in fractured, impossible angles. Is that alive? Mora whispered. No, I said. But I wasn't sure. We descended anyway. Because that's what humans do. We see something unknown, and instead of running, we lean closer. The landing was smooth. Too smooth. No turbulence. No resistance. It was like the planet welcomed us. The moment we stepped outside, the air hit me first. Cool. Almost breathable, carrying a faint metallic sweetness. It's adapting, Mora said, scanning the atmosphere. Adjusting composition to match us. Great, Hale muttered. That's not terrifying at all. The ground beneath our boots pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. And then, she appeared. No arrival. No descent. One moment there was nothing. The next, she stood before us. Tall. Towering. Not in size, but in presence. Her form was vaguely humanoid, but fluid, shifting at the edges like she wasn't fully bound to reality. Her skin shimmered like the planet itself, reflecting light that didn't exist. And her eyes, they locked onto me immediately. Not Hale. Not Mora. Me. You heard me, she said. Her voice wasn't sound. It was inside my head. I swallowed. Yeah. Hale stepped forward. Identify yourself. She didn't even look at him. Instead, she took a step toward me. You understood the warning, she continued. Why did you come? I hesitated, because the truth sounded ridiculous, even to me. I needed to know what was out here, I said. Who sent it? Her expression shifted, subtle, but unmistakable. Something like disappointment. I sent it, she said. So you would not come? Yeah, I admitted. That part didn't work. For the first time, she smiled. It wasn't warm. We should have left right then. Every instinct screamed it. But curiosity is a dangerous thing. It roots itself deep, wraps around your thoughts, and refuses to let go. And mine had already taken hold. What are you? I asked. Her gaze sharpened. I am what remains, she said. What survived the silence. That's not an answer. It is the only one you need. Hale cut in, voice firm. We didn't come for riddles. If you pose a threat. She turned to him then, and just like that, he stopped speaking. Not because he chose to, but because he couldn't. Mora tried to move, to react, but she froze too, her body locking mid-motion. Only I remained. Only me. The queen stepped closer. You are different, she said softly. Lucky me. You heard my voice across the void. That should not have been possible. I guess I'm special. Her eyes flickered, something unreadable passing through them. Yes, she said. You are. That should have scared me. It didn't. Not yet. Why the warning? I asked. Her gaze drifted, as if looking beyond me, beyond everything. Because this place is not meant for your kind, she said. It consumes. I glanced around. The planet seemed calm. Still. Doesn't feel like it. That is how it begins. I frowned. Then why are you still here? I am bound to it. By what? She looked at me again. And for a moment, I saw it. Not in her form, but behind it. Something vast, ancient, endless. Something that stretched far beyond the planet, beyond the void itself. This world is a prison, she said quietly, and I am its keeper. The words settled heavily. A prison for what? I asked. Her silence was the answer. We walked. Or maybe she led me. It was hard to tell. The surface of the planet shifted beneath our feet, forming paths where none existed before. Structures rose in the distance, organic, crystalline towers that pulsed with faint light. Your crew will remain as they are, she said. Time moves differently here. Meaning, they are safe. For now. For now, I repeated. That's reassuring. She didn't respond. We reached the edge of something vast, a chasm stretching into darkness. It wasn't empty. It moved. A slow, writhing motion deep below, like something breathing in its sleep. That's it, isn't it? I said. Yes. That's what you're keeping locked away. Her voice softened. It is what remains of a species far older than yours. A consciousness that devours reality itself. I stared into the abyss. You're serious. I have never been more so. Then why show me? She stepped closer. Because you heard me, she said. Because you came anyway. That doesn't explain anything. It explains everything. I turned to her. Up close, she was even more unreal. Her form flickered slightly, like a projection struggling to maintain cohesion. You're not fully here, are you? I said. No. You're part of it. Yes. And if it gets out? Her silence was answer enough. I exhaled slowly. So, what? You're asking me to help you? No. Then what? I am asking you to leave. I laughed. You froze my crew, dragged me across a living planet, showed me a cosmic horror, and now you want me to just walk away? Yes. That's not how humans work. I know. Then why bother asking? She hesitated, and for the first time, I saw uncertainty. Because, she said, if you stay, you will not remain yourself. That should have been enough. It wasn't, because there was something else. Something beneath her words. Not just warning, not just fear, but loneliness. You've been here a long time, I said. Yes. Alone. I am not alone. I gestured to the chasm. That doesn't count. She didn't argue. I took a step closer. You've been sending warnings out into space, hoping someone would hear you, but also hoping they wouldn't come. Yes. That's a contradiction. It is survival. I studied her. You didn't expect anyone to understand the signal. No. But I did. Yes. And now you don't know what to do about that. For a moment, she said nothing. Then, quietly, no. That's when I leaned in. Not physically. Not yet. But mentally. Emotionally. I pushed past the fear, past the logic screaming at me to turn back, because I needed to understand her. You're tired, I said. Her form flickered. That is irrelevant. It's not. I do not tire. Maybe not physically, I said, but something's wearing you down. Her gaze hardened. You presume much. Do I? I stepped closer. This time, physically. If you wanted me gone, I continued, you could have erased me the moment I landed. She didn't deny it. But you didn't, I said. You talked to me. You showed me the truth. Yes. Why? Her voice dropped to a whisper. Because you listened. The space between us shrank. I could feel it now, the energy radiating from her, subtle but overwhelming. It wasn't heat or pressure. It was presence. And it pulled at something deep inside me. You said I wouldn't remain myself, I murmured. Yes. What does that mean? It means you would become part of this place. Like you. Yes. I held her gaze. And that's so terrible. For the first time, she looked afraid. Yes, she said. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the isolation. Maybe it was the connection. Or maybe it was something the planet itself was doing to me. But instead of stepping back, I leaned in, closer than I should have. You've been alone too long, I said softly. Her form destabilized slightly, rippling like disturbed water. Do not do this, she warned. Do what? Do not come closer. Why? Because I will not stop you. That should have been the moment I backed away. It should have been, but I didn't. Because somewhere deep down I realized something. She wasn't just warning me. She was testing me. What if I don't want to leave? I asked. Then you will cease to exist as you are. Maybe I'm okay with that. You are not. You don't know that. I do. Then prove it. Her eyes widened slightly. That is not a challenge you wish to make. Why not? Because you will lose. I smiled faintly. Or maybe I already have. For a long moment, neither of us moved. The world around us pulsed, the distant chasm shifting like a restless stream. And then she reached out. Just slightly. Not enough to touch, but enough to close the distance between us. If you stay, she said, her voice trembling for the first time, you will become part of the prison. And if I go, you will forget me. I paused. That hit harder than anything else she'd said. Completely? I asked. Yes. I looked at her, really looked, at the being who had spent eternity alone, guarding something that should never be free. At the one who had tried to keep me safe, even when I ignored her warning. And I made my choice. I leaned in. The moment I crossed that final distance, everything changed. The world dissolved. The planet, the chasm, the stars. All of it collapsed into something far larger, far deeper than I could comprehend. I felt it. The prison. The thing beneath it. The endless, consuming consciousness pressing against its boundaries. And I felt her. Every thought, every memory, every fragment of who she was. She had once been like me. Human. Long ago. Before the prison. Before the sacrifice. Before the eternity. You see now. Her voice echoed within me. Yes, I whispered. And you still choose this? I didn't hesitate. Yes. The transformation wasn't painful. It wasn't gentle either. It was inevitable. I felt myself stretching, expanding, unraveling, and reforming into something else. Something more. Or maybe something less. My body faded, replaced by energy, by awareness, by connection to the planet itself. To the prison. To her. You should hate me, she said. I don't. You will lose everything. I know. Then why? I searched for the answer. and found it in the simplest truth. Because you shouldn't have to do this alone. Silence. Then, for the first time, warmth. Far above, on the surface of the living world, Commander Hale and Lieutenant Mora stirred back to life. The planet was quiet now. Still. The signal had stopped. Elias. Mora called out. No answer. Hale scanned the horizon, his jaw tightening. He's gone. But he was wrong. I wasn't gone. Not really. I was still there. Just different. Watching. Waiting. Guarding. Beside her. And deep within the prison something stirred. Not escaping. Not yet. But aware. The Queen turned to me. No longer separate, no longer alone. You have made a terrible choice, she said. I felt something like a smile form within the vastness of what I had become. Yeah, I replied. Probably. But I didn't regret it. Not then. Not as the silence closed around us once more. Not as eternity stretched ahead. Because for the first time, she wasn't alone. And neither was I.